Hi everyone, my name is Gabriela and today is Mother's Day and I felt very glad to make this video today. So that is what I'm going to do. I don't want to edit this video, so I will try to talk slow, take it slow, so I don't have much to chop or anything to chop really. So let's start. I grew up with a very controlling, narcissistic mother. With controlling, I mean I wasn't allowed to do sports, go anywhere, do anything, hang out with friends. And even if I did, because I persisted, because it's not normal, I will hear screaming for the next couple of weeks, or she will give me the silent treatment. It was that bad. What else? I always liked the color pink. She forced me to like the color purple, so I convinced myself I liked purple for a while. She likes red, and she will buy pink things for herself and purple for me, knowing that I like pink. Another control thing was I wasn't allowed to have my own room when I was getting older. They were an empty room, so there was space, but she threw the biggest tantrum when I was 19 years old, so I cannot go in that room and have my own room. Another thing, she had gotten cancer when I was 19, and to control me, I was about to go to university. To control me, she would tell the nurses to not come home and clean her trachea, like an opening here, and you have to take it out and clean it and put it back. Very scary. I'm not a nurse. She would tell the nurses to not come so I can clean it for her, so I can go to work and go to school, so she's dependent on me. What more? It's so much more. So much control, abusive, screaming every single day. When I was little, we would go to therapy, and the therapist would tell me, oh, what is something that bothers you? And I would tell them, oh, she screams a lot. And I thought that by telling them it would stop. It never stopped. It continued my whole life. And I lived with her for 20 years. I'm now 26, by the way. I think that's enough from talking about the control. You can imagine how it is. I maybe make another video talking more about that, but let's continue. So that's the control. She would also tell me stories about my grandma that I've never met. How my grandma was very controlling with her. She grew up in a internat. How do you call that in English? So an institute. But she would tell me when she was 16, she went and lived with her mom, and her mom was very controlling, and she would laugh about these stories. And I think she was doing that to desensitize me, to make me think that she's good, she's normal because her mother did such and such. Also, she was telling me since I was little that my grandma was a witch. She was like in our language, spiritista, so a witch. And she would say like, oh, your grandma told me that I'm gonna have you and you're gonna be so smart and this and that, ra 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 ra. So if my grandma told you that, why did you not help me pay to go to school? Why did you treat me so bad? Sus. Anyways, I'm looking at my notes so I can have a little bit of a timeline, or else I'll be talking all over the place. Okay, she would gaslight me a lot. She would let me question my reality. So at school and at work, I'm like normal. I wasn't allowed to work. I worked for maybe 3 months when I was there. I felt normal. But when I was at home, I'm like, am I crazy? So she would cuss me out about something, and then a couple of hours later I would tell her, hey, you did this and this and that, I don't agree with it, it wasn't nice. She would literally look at me in my eyes and tell me that didn't happen. That happened multiple times. or I would tell her that someone did something to me, she would literally tell me, I don't believe you, that didn't happen. So I don't know, she would like bend reality, which that is also a form of witchcraft, if you ask me. Witchcraft, it's not only sorcery, it's people controlling and bending your reality. And she would be the only person in my life at the time that would do that. And later on, I encountered more people like her. She would put people against me. She would talk bad about me to neighbors when I was a very little girl. I was a very quiet, I was a good child. I didn't cause any trouble. Even if you ask that witch today, she will tell you that I was a good girl. But she would make people hate me, and I always wondered why people would treat my siblings better than me. And now I know, because those same people told me when I was older, oh, your mom told me this and that about you. And those things weren't true. So she was making everyone around me treat me bad and made me think like there's something wrong with me. And the whole time there were nothing wrong with me but with her. When things are stable, she would make them unstable. An example of this is that my dad used to be a coke addict, and there was a time that he wasn't an addict anymore. He went to a treatment center, he was fine. I was in my last year of school, and she made me live with my friend at the time. And that was so embarrassing to me because she lied to them, told them that my dad was a coke addict and he was causing trouble when he wasn't anymore. And I think that's her way of also bending reality, because a couple of months later he was using again. And I truly believe it's because she makes people go insane. Let's talk about the witchcraft. I would get very bad sleep paralysis, very bad dreams since I was a child. I once had a dream that she was possessed by a demon, like her eyes were fully pitch black. I never told her this, of course. Why would I? That was a very, very scary dream. That dream made me scared of her. It matches what I was going through. I was getting very bad sleep paralysis, and when I would wake up from the sleep paralysis, I would catch her looking at me like this. What? So I would wake up from my sleep paralysis, and I couldn't wake up. I would just say, Jesus, please help me. And then I wake up, open my eyes, and she's like looking at me. So I'm like, okay. So I kept that to myself. I started Googling things like, why would she do that? And I decided to tell a neighbor of mine, which was a friend of hers. And she told me that she was doing bad prayers over me because they also have knowledge of witchcraft. I was like also 19. A lot happened when I was 19 because I was starting to wake up. Because I now woke up now that I'm 26, finally. I am no contact. But also witchcraft is also words. She would go on her knees and say things like, oh, your children will treat you so bad, you will go through bad things, and just wish bad on my life for the littlest of discussions. And keep in mind, I am someone that you can talk to me very chill, very nice. She would blow things out of proportion and say the most nastiest things against me. And I truly believe that that's a form of witchcraft. What else? I would see her do spells for money. There's a thing where you pay someone and you write like a number lottery that you think you would win, and she would do that and she would win a lot. But till this day she's broke AF. She never really had a real job. She keeps depending on witchcraft, and the thing about witchcraft is it won't work for long, or it will give you just enough. You know, you will never be truly successful, or not for long. You're gonna pay for everything. Let's talk about the present. I will talk more about my childhood because there's so much, but this is just an introduction video so I can get used to talking in front of a camera. A month ago I went no contact because I came to the Netherlands so I can get away from her when I was 20 years old. But she would talk to me every single day. The woman that abused me every single day. And she was so nice over text, and that would make me so confused. Like, did those things really happen? Like, am I tripping? Like, I really went away from, why is she being so nice? Like, it's weird. And I'm a nice girl, so of course I'm nice back. And with time, I think last year I stopped responding, so I will take 2-3 weeks to respond, and she would keep sending hearts and pictures of things. I don't know, being nice, overly nice. Keep in mind, this woman abused me so much, me and my siblings, but I'm not here to talk about them. I'm here to talk about me. So I went no contact. A couple of days before her birthday, maybe 4 days. But I wasn't looking at the time if it was before her birthday or not. I just went no contact. And I was about to tell her happy birthday because I kept thinking like I should tell her happy birthday. And keep in mind, since I was a child, she always thought I was evil. She would tell me, you should go to church. And I was not an evil child. I was so innocent. She would tell me, you should go to church. And when I would go to church, she would try to stop me from going. So what are you even saying? You understand? Like, she's cuckoo. So I went no contact. And a couple of hours before her birthday, I was about to tell her happy birthday, but she probably thought that I wasn't going to. So she did witchcraft on me. And I believe, from what I've been talking to God, of course, I believe that she wanted me to be stuck in life, or I don't know, die, who knows. And it hit my cat. My cat died a couple of hours before her birthday. My healthy cat, 3 years old. I was so attached to my cat, super attached to my cat. And when we would call once in a while, once a month or maybe, I think so, she would always say, oh, he keeps walking around you, he's protecting you. And I would always think, protecting me from what? It's just a cat, girl. Why do you keep saying that? So now I'm thinking, you keep saying that because my cat is protecting me from you. So yeah, whatever she did to me, it hit my cat. And I also believe that I should just obey God. I think maybe if I was more obedient, it wouldn't have went that way. Of course, it's not my fault that my cat died, but I believe that people should be obedient, especially. You should be obedient regardless, but especially if you're dealing with sick, crazy people that resort to sick, crazy things, you should be obedient with God. So the rules of the evil, the devil, the portals are not open, so bad things can happen to you. I truly believe that. So since my cat died, I immediately stopped smoking. I don't know how I stopped. I was addicted. I couldn't stop. I tried stopping multiple times, so I think it's by the grace of God. That's not me. I immediately stopped. I didn't even crave it anymore, and I tried stopping for so long, trust me. That day I stopped because I need to be obedient so I can protect myself, because till this day, I feel like she's still trying to do things. So that's why I'm making this video on Mother's Day, so I can expose evil, tell my truth, speak my truth. I will make this channel about these things, honestly, talking about God, about Jesus Christ, what he has done for me, is doing for me still till this day. And yeah, I'm still learning. I'm not perfect. I baptized a couple of days after my cat died too. I felt like I needed to do that because she forced me to baptize when I was 9 years old. I didn't want to. She forced me to baptize 7 Days Adventist. They were doing a baptism. She was like, you should go. I said, no, I don't want to. She said, you should go. She kept forcing me, look at me like this. So I baptized 7 Days Adventist when I didn't want to. She was in every kind of religion, really. But her mouth was dirty, cursing every day, screaming, talking bad about people, doing evil things. taking things from people without paying them. A lot. So yeah, what else? Oh, I also wanted to add that she did what she did on the full moon. The witches know. I don't know much about witchcraft, but I did my research. So yeah, I don't know why I just wanted to say that. Do your research and you'll see what I mean. I'm not an expert in the occult. I don't want to be either, but I think people should be aware of these things so you can protect yourself. And yes, that's it for now. The video stopped because my phone is full, and I will see you on the next one. God bless. Bye.